I'm laid back, K's rap, Aston's what I'm whipping. When J rap, A that's crack up in the kitchen. Them lame cats, they jack swagger for a living. I'm paid scrap, ASAP, scratching like I'm itching. But Mac is my addiction. I get them by the groups, gather them all up and try to fit them in the coop.
What is
your
up,
chicken
guys?
and your
Welcome
scoop.
to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is a sample shopping episode. Just took that 1 week hiatus, and now the 27 cents that I talked about the Decant shop was sending me, I have them in my possession. And so this is going to lead to 7 weeks in a row of straight sample shopping. Then after that, probably take another week or two break and get right back into it. So I've got 27 cents to go through with you. 6 weeks we'll do 4, and then the last week we'll do 3. Before we get into it, I do just want to mention that, as I said a million times, if you like these videos, the best way for you to show both myself and Adriana, who owns the Decant shop, is to go there and use that coupon code MAX12. Now, I mentioned lots of times how it is the best place to get discontinued and vintage and rare and designer and niche fragrances, but you can also, and I don't know how many of you know this, you can also, if you have bottles you don't want, stuff that you don't think you'll ever use, you can, Adriana does buy that stuff. So, you know, you could either get money for it or trade it in for store credit. So if there's stuff that's just sitting there that you don't think you're ever going to use or wear, you know, email Adriana, let her know what you have, and hopefully maybe something can be worked out. Again, though, if you do just want to purchase scents, remember to use that coupon code MAX12. Tons of new stuff added this week. A couple of fragrances from the Dior Privé line, Vetiver and Mitza, which have both been discontinued, and just a lot of good stuff. So please check out decantshop.com. Use coupon code MAX12. Get yourself some samples, or sell or trade some of your own old bottles. Now, this week, first up, we have a player many of you guys have seen on this show multiple times, and it is from the House of Montale. This one is called Blue Amber. I'm trying hard to pick out the quality Montale scents from the legions of the sort of similar smelling Montale scents. And this one seemed interesting to me. You guys know the drill. If you want this one, you can go full bottle at regular Montale prices, which is $170 for the 100 ml or $120 for the 50 ml. Or you could shop around on sites like Beauty Encounter and Fragrance Net, but this one wasn't on either of those sites as of my shooting this video. But as you guys know, stock fluctuates pretty quickly, so keep checking if there are Montale, Serge Luton, or L'Artisan Parfum scents that you're looking for. Now, notes on Blue Amber are bergamot, geranium, patchouli, vetiver, coriander, amber, and vanilla. No rose or oud in this one? Oh my god, it must be the end of the world. Now, this one to me is very good. This is like a sweet, powdery amber scent. There are, to me, like sort of two classes of amber scents in my book. You've got the sweet, powdery ones like Amber 114 by Heusler Parfum and Amber Précieux by Maître Parfumé et Gantier, which I reviewed a couple weeks ago. And then you have the in-your-face ambers like Amber Absolute by Tom Ford and Amber Rousse by Parfum d'Empire and Opus 5 by Amouage. Now, this one is the former. It's a sweet, powdery amber, and a really good one at that. I don't know that you need to have this and then one of the other two that I mentioned, or all three, because they're a little bit redundant. But if you like ambers, you might want to check this guy out, because it's one of Montale's better offerings, and I haven't smelled anything else like this by Montale. Just a really nice, sweet, powdery amber. I think it would be kind of hard to tell this apart from Amber Précieux by Maître Parfumé et Gantier or Amber 114. These are all very similar. It's probably just going to come down to your personal preference, but because I already own Amber Précieux, I don't think I'll be getting Blue Amber by Montale. Next up this week, we have a fragrance that's been generating some buzz, in a negative way, believe it or not, and it's called 8 & Bob. And the backstory on this fragrance, whether you believe it or not, it's up to you, is that this French dude named Albert Fouquet was an aspiring perfumer. In 1937, he was in the French Riviera on vacation. He was the son of a Parisian aristocrat, and in the French Riviera, he was hanging out with a dude named John F. Kennedy. And Kennedy, the dandy that he was into fragrances. So Albert chose showed him what he was making, and Kennedy, when he got back to the U.S., was so impressed that he asked Albert to send him 8 samples and 1 for Bob. And I guess Bob was a friend of Kennedy's. Now, Albert knew this was Joe Kennedy's son, so he sought out the best bottles he could find in a Parisian apothecary and decorated them with the pattern Kennedy was wearing on his shirt that day. And then he labeled the boxes and bottles with 8 and Bob on them, per JFK's request. Then the Hollywood elite started asking for this fragrance as well, because Joe Kennedy, JFK's father, knew a lot of them through business dealings. And this was starting to blow up among the elite in the United States. But then tragedy struck. Albert died in a car accident in 1937, and so his butler, who was helping him with this business, a gentleman named Philippe, he kept it going, and he smuggled bottles. World War II also happened around this time. He was smuggling bottles out of France in books with the bottle cut out. So you've seen those books people hide liquor in sometimes. That's how they were getting this fragrance out of the country. But eventually, because of the war, the business became defunct. But very recently, the family of Philippe found the original formula to the cologne that Kennedy loved. And in honor of their family, they decided to revive the house. And you can now buy this fragrance in the original style of packaging for about $195 for a 100 ml bottle. Lucky Scent carries it, as did some other U.S. retailers as well, like Bergdorf's, Neiman's, Nordstrom. The negative buzz I heard about this is that a lot of people are saying it compares almost identically to Fahrenheit 32, but it's an extra like $150. So let's see if that's true. Notes on 8 and Bob are citrus, spice accord, violet, iris, cedar, sandalwood, gaiac, and ambergris. And I'll tell you what, I really like this. I think this is a great fragrance. Funny enough, this reminds me more of a different Dior scent than Fahrenheit 32. This actually reminds me of Bois d'Argent. It's kind of fresh and powdery. Is it worth $195? I think it might be, honestly. You know, I need some more time with it. I could definitely see someone saying this is no more than a high-quality designer scent. I really get that. I'm not sure if it is yet. If it is indeed just an overpriced designer scent, or is it something really worth the money? I guess I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to buy this. I think this might be a great scent for the spring and summer, so this is probably on my list. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I just think it's really fresh, it's really clean, it's powdery, it smells like something a dandy would wear in France in the 40s and 50s. Just a really great eau de cologne with some nice spice, some nice citrus, well-rounded, and nice projection and longevity. This one is a serious winner for me. Next up, we have a fragrance from a house that I'm now not sure what to think of. And the house is Parfum d'Empire. Now, I was so impressed with the first scent that I smelled from this house, Amber Rose. But then very let down by the next one, Asiade. So this is going to be a defining moment for me. And the house, we're taking a look at their house on Musc with a fragrance called Musc Tonkin. Now, this only comes in a 50 ml, and the price is more expensive than the usual Parfum d'Empire offerings. This is $150 for 50 ml. There were only 1,000 bottles of this made because the musk, which is synthetic, was so rare. I can't find a retailer that has it in stock. Lucky Scent sold out. Min doesn't have it either. And as far as I know, those are the only 2 retailers of Parfum d'Empire in the United States. The listed notes on this are simply musk, but Lucky Scent took a stab at figuring out some more, and they guessed that there's also rose, iris, styrax, and cistus. Now, guys, this is a very hardcore musk. I prefer white musks, which are synthetic and usually smell cleaner and crisper. Again, this one is synthetic as well, for the record. Natural musk was banned in the late 70s. I have a bottle of Kiehl's Original Musk, which is a pretty basic musk, and it's got some animalic to it. But this is like 10 times that. Now, I'm going to tell you next, might sound crazy. This smells to me like a bathroom after someone took a shit in it. About 5 minutes after someone took a shit in it. That sort of balmy smell of the flushed water and the toilet paper and shit residue. And first, I was like, ugh. But then after a while, I kind of like it. It's a funny thing because I find myself liking fragrances now that I never would have liked a year ago. And I do like this. If you watch my starting lineup videos, you've heard me say a million times that I don't really believe in challenging scents. I mean, I wear Black Afghano as a signature in the winter. Some scents I think suck and are outrageous, but not necessarily challenging. This one is challenging to me. If I could find this at retail price, I might buy it. But this would be tough for me to pull off. I think there might be a time and a place for this. Like, I don't really know when. Like, if you're maybe going to go murder somebody or invade an Eastern European village. But there's something about this that draws me to it. You just have to give it some time on your skin because it has a rough opening. So, interested in this one. Interested. We'll see what happens. Finally this week, we're going to talk about a house that I don't talk about much, but I'm bowled over by the sheer quality, and I happen to love the owner of this house, Claude. He's been quite good to me. The house we're talking about is called Parfum MDCI, and because I was so bowled over by their masculine scents I've smelled from this house, mainly Sheep Paladin, Amber Top Copy, and Invasion Barbar, and Cure Garamante, I wanted to check out some of their female offerings as well, and I thought I'd start with this one. There's no better place to start than a fragrance called Belle Helene. This is a Duchau 4 fragrance, really centered around, from what I've been led to believe, poached pears with chocolate sauce and vanilla ice cream. Normal MDCI pricing is in effect $250 for just the 60 ml bottle, but if you want that beautiful resin bust, it goes up to $375. Notes on this fragrance are paracord, aldehydes, tangerine, lime blossom, rose essence, osmanthus absolute, ylang ylang, orris butter, hawthorn, mirabelle plum, myrrh, vetiver Haiti, patchouli, cedar Virginia, amber, oak moss, absolute, white musk, sandalwood, and licorice wood. So, pretty interesting notes on this one. Now, Belle Helene is traditionally a dessert that is basically poached pears with chocolate sauce and vanilla ice cream. For the sake of this fragrance, Duchau 4 just kept the pears. And I totally get pears here. And it's hardcore pears. They're juicy and they're authentic pears. Kind of like the way that Pulp by Byredo is juicy. This is juicy too. This is a fragrance I'll definitely consider buying. It's really well done. It might be a little too feminine for me to actually own, but man, am I awed by how real and authentic this is. Duchau 4 just always wows me, whether it's, Fusion Sacré Louis, or Jubilation 25, or Sartorial. This guy just has so many tricks up his sleeve, and here he comes through and just hits you with a juicy, sort of light and fresh fruit scent with tangerine and gorgeous pear and some aldehydes to make it sparkle a bit on top. Unbelievably impressed with Belle Helene. Really, I am. This was a really good. This might be the best, I think, from Decant Shop. It's a great way to start this haul. If I had to put them in order, guys, I would put 8 and Bob number 1. Unbelievably, I'd put probably MDCI Pear 2. I would put Musc Tonkin 3. And I'd put Blue Amber 4, but Blue Amber's good. Like, if I didn't have the Maître Parfumé Gantier Amber, then I'd probably buy this. And if I can find the Parfum d'Empire Musc Tonkin, I might buy that. I also might buy Belle Helene. I would certainly buy it for a woman if I think that it would do really well on her, and you could use it maybe from time to time. And I think 8 and Bob is on my spring or summer list. So 4 scents that are all just really well done. Really happy with this first group of fragrances, and we'll do it again next week. Of course, stay tuned for a fragrance review this week. 2 videos every week, man. You guys know what it is. Please check out Decant Shop. Use coupon code MAX12. And again, if there's bottles just sitting there and you're not going to get use out of them, get rid of them. Create something with those bottles. Get yourself some store credit or some money, and get them out of the way. No point in having them if you're not going to use them, unless you're an ill collector like I am. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Decantshop.com, coupon code MAX12.
But you got a sweetheart. That's your sweetheart. She playing your stupid ass. You ain't even street smart. Better yet, you's a retard. Not at all a thugger G. No, CC the thug in me. 100% sucker free. Difference in luxury. Your whips out the loop. This ain't that 57. This here's the